Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode or webisode, depending on where you're watching or listening from, of Let's Talk With No Politics. Okay, I am your host, Andrew Len, and today we are continuing the journey of going down ING's top 100 NES games of all time. Today, doing number 20 through 11. Next week is going to be the top 10 on this list, and I cannot wait. So many great nostalgic games I found, so many great games that I never played that I think I want to go venture back to and play kind of in my when I do my Let's Play. But there's just so much going on here. And without further ado, let's get to that list. Coming in at number 20 is Kid Icarus, developer Nintendo, released in 1987. Okay, so Kid Icarus, did not rent, did not own. I really probably never even played this until just recently. I had a family friend, or friends of the family, we could just say, pretty much. We would go over there, and my friend's dad would play Nintendo games, and we would sit there and watch them. It's kind of my if there was a YouTube back then, he would have been a very famous YouTuber because he was very awesome at these games. But like I said, did I just get myself stuck? Oh, nope. It's a very interesting game in the fact that it is, from what I can tell, you're just mostly going up in the air. You're not really... you're jumping up instead of maybe going side to side. So it's cool in that. And the only other way that I really knew anything about Kid Icarus was the Captain N video game series as well, which I enjoyed the crap out of as a kid, and some of those members have been on this list as well. Mega Man's been on here multiple times, and Simon Belmont has been on there as well, so I wonder if he's going to make a comeback again. But this is definitely a pretty cool, fun game. I mean, there's something special about it, but it's nothing like... back then I could see, but in today's world, you're like, yeah, not that big of a deal. But coming in at number 20 is Kid Icarus, developer Nintendo, released in 1987. Coming in at number 19 is Castlevania, developer Konami, released in 1987. This is a game that my brother and I did not rent, did not own. I don't know why we didn't. We had friends that had this. Like, I was friends with the younger brother, and obviously he was friends with the older brother, and I saw the older brother play it, and I was like, yeah, this is a pretty cool game. It looks interesting. I picked it up and I was like, wow, this is pretty hard. But then again, I was probably 6, 7, maybe 8 years old, so not probably the best at Nintendo games at the time. And the only other way that I knew Simon Belmont was the whole Captain N cartoon series, which didn't really paint him in a very cool light. That Simon Belmont was definitely way different than what you think about when you think about this game. But this is definitely a cool game with all the monsters and everything else. Great game to play, like, say around Halloween time or any time, really. And I could see why it's 19. In a way, maybe it could be higher. I don't know. I don't really know too much about what this list has in store, but definitely a fun game. Didn't really play this until I became an adult, and I really feel like I missed out on this one. And it comes in at number 19 And that's Castlevania, developer Konami, released in 1987. Coming in at number 18 is Super Mario Bros. 2, developer Nintendo, released in 1988. And to get kind of technical, this is the United States, North America version of Super Mario Bros. 2. Because in Japan they got a completely different one. This one is a reskin of a game called, I'll just go real short, Doki Doki Panic. But this is the first game where you got to pick your character. You know, you got Mario, you got Luigi, you got Toad, you got Princess Peach, and everything else going in. And they got their own unique abilities, just like in Doki Doki Panic. So it's a very interesting game. It's very different from what we know as Mario, because Super Mario was totally different. I mean, this one you can throw stuff at them and jump on you. You jump on your enemy, you can pick them up. It's still such a fun game. I remember when this came out. Big, huge deal. Everybody wanted Super Mario Bros. 2. And it's still fun to this day, even though I do know the whole thing behind it. It's a little interesting that as like, you know, the whole story about the reskinning and what Japan got, we know as Super Mario Brothers, the lost levels. But even though it doesn't look like Super Mario, it's still Super Mario Bros. 2 to many of us. And still a lot of fun. Birdo and everything else. This is a game that I go back to. Oh, got a 1-up. That I go back to a lot. And I play myself just because, like I said, it's fun, it's different, it's awesome. It's still Super Mario Brothers, and it comes in at Super Mario Bros. 2, sorry, and it comes at number 18, developer Nintendo, released in 1988. Coming in at number 17 is Ninja Gaiden. I'm gonna say Gaiden. Developer Tecmo, released in 1989. So when you're a kid, you don't really pay attention to developers. So for me to find out Tecmo made this years later, I'm like, oh, cool. They just didn't make super cool football games. But this is classic, essential ninja game. I mean, Nintendo kind of had Ninja Gaiden, Sega had Shinobi, so they each had their own little flavor to it. I love this game. Was I very good at it? No. But, I mean, it's still a fun game. The fact that you could jump on walls was pretty amazing to me. That you could do these little like flips, jump on these signs and get up there, because normally it's like, how do I get up there? I can't get up there. But this game, it told you, it helped you out. And whether you call it Ninja Gaiden, Ninja Gaiden, I think it has a lot in Nintendo lore. Like, this is one of the games that made Nintendo super fun to play, super awesome. Definitely rented this as I get into it. Never owned it. I didn't know too many kids that had a super huge Nintendo library, so but definitely a lot of fun. Like I said, Sega had Shinobi, even though I didn't know the difference. You know, this young as a kid. And there we go, finally made that jump. But it's still fun to this day. It's definitely one of those Nintendo games that are still fun to this day. It's like Castlevania. It's kind of hard, but fun at the same time. And I think that's a Nintendo staple at best. That it's fun, but hard. And it comes in at number 17. Ninja Gaiden. Developer Tecmo, released in 1989. Coming in at number 16 is Mega Man 3. Developer Capcom, released in 1990. Did not wait. Yes, we did rent this. Did not own it. Like I said, pretty much after Mega Man, this Mega Man it's pretty no more. So when I was playing those other ones, that was pretty much my first time playing it. The whole Mega Man series, once again, another Captain M, the Game Master type guy, even though he's green in that one. But still, awesomely fun game. I think there's not too many really, really bad Mega Man games, even though I'm getting lumped up every which way. Because just like Castlevania, Ninja Gaiden, these have their own little fun level of difficulty to them. Very, very different. Oh, got destroyed on that one real quick. But there's still a lot of fun to play. I think any Mega Man game on NES is really awesome to play, as you can see by this list, because they're all over the place. It's a great franchise. I think it's one of those Nintendo franchises or video game franchises that some people have forgot about. But Mega Man 3 is pretty awesome, and it comes in at number 16. Developer Capcom, released in 1990. Coming in at number 15 is River City Ransom. Developer Technos, released in 1998. I did not own. I don't even think I didn't even know anybody that had this game. If I'm going beat 'em up, whoa, guy just threw that right at me. I'm going Double Dragon. I think I've admitted my love towards Double Dragon many times on this list. But I do understand the value. This is one of those games where you can buy stuff, level up, collect money, and everything else. I mean, the graphics age well. They seem kind of very cartoonish, but I still think this isn't too bad. I don't know. Oh, I just got hit by a baseball? I don't even know. But it definitely seems like a cool game. I can see why it's so high. I understand there is a lot of nostalgic value to this one, and I can see where it's at. But it just wasn't one of the games that we ever really played or really wanted to play, I guess. Or didn't even really know about. This is a game that I didn't know about until my adulthood. And it comes in at River City Ransom, comes in at number 15. Developer Technos, released in 1989. Coming in at number 14 is Excitebike. Developer Nintendo, released in 1985. I did not rent this, but a friend of mine, or a friend of my brother's had this, and when I would kind of tag along, this is something that I would love to watch them play. Oh, forgot, wrong button with the overheat there. But I mean, this is a great game. Even though when I play it now or when my kids see me play it, they're like, this is stupid. You're just going. And I'm like, yeah, but this game, the way that he falls off the bike, the way you can build your own track, Excite Bike was exciting. I see they tried to come out with one for the Nintendo 64. I don't know how I feel about that one. I never played that. But this is when they were coming out. This is one of the games when they were coming out with the, what is that? Game Boy Advance? Like the classics? This was a game where I was like, yeah, I want to get Excite Bike for it. And I did. And I played it, and it was a great way to kind of just... It's one of those grindy games where it just kind of keeps your mind occupied off of things. And you just sit there and enjoy and play it as I keep on falling off my bike. But that is the beauty part of this game. I love the overheating. It's definitely an NES classic no matter what. I know a lot of people might, you know, like I said, younger kids are like, why would you like this? Because it's Excite Bike. It's an original black box game for Nintendo. It's awesome, and it comes in at number 14. Developer Nintendo, released in 1985. Coming in at number 13 is RC Pro-Am, developer Nintendo, released in 1988. Did not own this game. I didn't know anybody that owned this as well, but my brother and I rented this a lot just because of the, you know, free gameplay value. I mean, it seems simple. You're this little RC car, you drive around this track, but it probably gave me a little bit more of a love and appreciation of what we got out of Mario Kart. Oh, and it's such a fun game, and I probably haven't played this thing in like 30 years, and I just got stuck. And it you know, just playing it now, it's still awesome. Your little RC car controls like an RC car, very hair controls going on here, and it's just fun to kind of whip around. You get the little trophies, you pick up certain things. It was different than just any other game, and it's funny that it's on this because I was just talking to the Retro Bliss guys, talking about more things that we could do for Did We Need This, and they just did Outrun, and they were talking about doing a bunch of racing games, and I was like, RC Pro-Am's good, and they were like, yeah, but that's not, you know, a licensed thing, and I was like, yeah, I just wanted to bring up that RC Pro-Am is an awesome game, and I love it, and I'm glad to see it on this list. And it comes in at number 13, RC Pro-Am, developer Nintendo, released in 1988. Coming in at number 12 is Contra, developer Konami, released in 1988. Really don't think Contra needs any introduction at all due to the legendary Contra or Konami code. Great fun run and gun game. I've played this with my kids many times, and they were like, this is nuts. One hit, you're out, but yet you just shoot everything, keep on moving, shoot everything, keep on moving, shoot everything, keep on moving. It's Contra. What can I say? It is probably one of the most fun games you'll ever play. The way that you can lay down in the prone. I love Contra. We used to rent this. We rented this a lot. Just because it was 2-player once again, and you know, that run and gun style. What kid didn't want to run around? If you weren't running around outside with, you know, a toy gun, playing guns or army or whatever you want to call it, Contra could do that indoor fix as well. And it's just awesome, and I think it's one of those games that are just going to stand the test of time. It's outside of the top 10, which kind of shocks me in a way, but it is what it is. This list wasn't made by Nintendo, it was made by ING. And Contra comes in at number 12. Developer Konami, released in 1988. And finally, coming in at number 11 is, I guess you could say, the game that started it all. Final Fantasy, developer Nintendo and Square, released in 1990. Not much of an RPG person, but I mean, this is the game that started it all, and as a fan of video games, how can I really say anything about it except for this game? Oh my goodness. This game is hard. I mean, look at it. It's even hard to start. But I wonder why it's not going, but it's definitely the game that started it all. Released a franchise completely out. Of nowhere. Did not rent this, did not own this. Like I said, I wasn't much of an RPG person. The closest thing that I came to ever playing an RPG pretty much on the NES is Zelda. So for this to be, be out there, I didn't really check it out or anything. But it's an awesome game, and it comes in at number 11 on the list. Final Fantasy, developer Nintendo and Square, released in 1990. So that concludes this portion of ING's top 100 NES games of all time, looking at number 20 through 11, and to give a quick little recap on each one of the games. Starting off at number 20 was Kid Icarus, developer Nintendo, released in 1987. Number 19 is Castlevania, developer Konami, released in 1987. Coming in at 18 is Super Mario Bros. 2. And like I said, if you want to get technical, the North American version, developer Nintendo, released in 1988. Coming in at number 17 is Ninja Gaiden, developer Tecmo, released in 1989. Coming in at number 16 was Mega Man, developer Capcom, released in 1990. Coming in at number 15 was River City Ransom, developer American Technos, released in 1989. Coming in at 14 was Excitebike, developer Nintendo, released in 1985. 13 was RC Pro-Am, developer Nintendo, released in 1988. Number 12 is Contra, developer Konami, released in 1988. And rounding out the list, coming in at number 11, is Final Fantasy, developer Nintendo and Square, released in 1990. So I hope you enjoyed this portion, and like I said, next week we're going to round out this list going into the top 10 on ING's top 100 NES games of all time. And if you haven't seen any of the other episodes, please go check them out, and some other great videos as well on the YouTube channel for Let's Talk But No Politics, okay? And remember to catch new episodes every Sunday on the bicbp radio network. Bonus episodes every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Helium Radio Network. And go check out the Facebook page as well for great content. And with that being said, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.